elbow pad. Jameis Winston is going, to collect names and be comeback player of the year.
All right, so he likes the Saints a lot. And here's further fuel. The Bucs may very well lose again because look at their injury report. It's like a Pro Bowl roster. Brady is on there with just a rest designation, but 5 wideouts are on the list. 3 of them didn't practice, both starting tackles. All right, Diana, the injury report in Tampa, that first came out. I saw Shefty tweeted that yesterday. Makes one a little bit nervous. What can you tell us?
Yeah, it does. That came from Wednesday, though, so that's the good news, right? We still got a few days left, but the Chris Godwin one is the one that really, that one stands out just because he just got back and now he's dealing with this hamstring injury. And we'll see if the Bucs are willing to take that risk and roll the die and throw him back out there. But I know they were really happy with his rehab and how he returned off that ACL, but obviously a hamstring injury this early in the season could be something that could be nagging all year long. So the Julio Jones one, we talked about this in the offseason. Julio's going to be on this injury report every week. I can guarantee that. And it's just going to be, we're just going to see what happens on Sundays if he's going to be willing to go. This is the risk you take. He's an incredible player, but he comes with injury. So that's on the Bucs side of it, Mike.
Yeah.
The Saints side of it, you got Jameis Winston. Remember, he went in the blue tent on Sunday dealing with some back injury, and he was really sore, so he was very limited on Wednesday. I was told he's expected to go on Sunday against the Bucs, but obviously he's coming off a gigantic injury as well, so that soreness for a lot of players was really felt this past week.
All right, so it's a critical matchup. We got both teams coming in a little banged up, and the Saints have their number. We've talked about it repeatedly. The one game Tampa won in there, though, was the important one because it was the playoff game. Nick, Saints going to continue to dominate this matchup?
It's in the Dome, too.
Yes.
That's going to be tough. But I just think that Tampa and some of the question marks with the Saints, their quarterback's banged up. I know Tampa's banged up, too. But you look at the head coach. They don't have the head coach anymore. Sean Payton's gone. They got a new coach. So I'm going with Tampa on this one.
You like the Bucs?
I like the Bucs. I like the Bucs.
The division still runs through them. Bart looks skeptical.
He does.
How do you look?
I got the Saints. I think the Saints defensively matches up perfectly with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I don't even think, just from an identity standpoint, I don't think the Bucs, they're not even the same team that they were last year. You go from, what is it, no risk it, no biscuit with Bruce Arians. Now with Todd Bowles not going to be having the offense slinging the ball all over the field. He wants to play a more traditional type of game, run and
is that good or bad?
I think initially it's probably bad because the offensive line is still trying to find its way. I don't know if they'll be able to run the ball like that against this New Orleans Saints defense. Right. So I'm giving the edge to the Saints.
Well, you got the entire interior of Tom's offensive line we were talking about. Now both tackles are on the injury report. The Saints rushed the heck out of him anyway. Is Brady in trouble on Sunday?
He's in trouble, but Todd Bowles is going with the right plan, right? Because if you look at what happened to the Saints last week, Cordell Patterson ran the ball up and down their throat, and they had to really get hold of the game late in the season. But, the same thing, Nico, that you said about, the Saints, I can say about the Bucs because Todd Bowles is a new coach as well. He's the guy who was on staff. Here's the issue, right? They have bad matchups. And what we don't really talk about is how dominant Lattimore has always been traditionally against Mike Evans. So now when you don't have Chris Godwin, that allows you to be able to really, add another man to the box to make them one-dimensional.
Are they going to beat Tom Brady up? He was talking about all the lumps and bumps and bruises on his podcast after week 1. What's he going to look like after week 2?
Well, he's going to be in the wax like Triple X. You know what I mean? Because he's going to be all beat up. And the problem is a lot of these guys are sore a lot more because they don't hit in training camp. So this is the first time that they've been knocked to the ground. So now they're oversensitive. It's going to take about 3 or 4 weeks for everybody to get used to the physicality. Just like you got to get your pads set, you also got to get your body set for taking a beating for 17
Brady
weeks.
going to get beat up this week?
Yeah, he's going to get knocked around a little bit. He's 45 years old. If you push a 45-year-old, they just fall right over. So, yeah, of course, I think he's going to get beat up. But he's Tom Brady. He deals with it. He knows how to recover. He's got the pliability. He's got TB12. He's got all that stuff. So, again, it's just hard for me to look at the track record. I know the Saints have won a lot, but you can't just say they're just going to keep beating Tom. I'm just going with percentages.
Well, Tom just keeps beating everybody else, so
That's
why
what
can't
I'm
it happen
saying.
to
So
him?
he's going to figure it out.
Look at the number at the bottom of your screen. Our analytics give the Buccaneers a 70% chance to win this game on the road. With that injury report, that would be quite a statement for Brady's Bucs to win this game on the road against their primary rival in the division this early on. We'll see Sunday. In the meantime, we're We're going to Dallas next. The Cowboys star has fallen with Dak's into the NFL talking, particularly after that, the drop heard around the world on the first play by Christian Watson. Yesterday, Aaron Rodgers was asked if he needs to make any adjustments to his game. Here's what he said.
I got to play on time, and guys got to get open. So no, I'm not going to change the way I play. We just have to realize who's out there, who we're throwing to, and how we're going to actually make some hay and score some points.
All right, so that's what Rodgers is saying. And we saw some of the body language. We see whatever it is. We saw him on Mac. I've been waiting all week to ask you this question, Bartholomew. They're going to be fine? The offense. Forget the defense. Is that offense with Rodgers, they're going to get Lazard back, they're going to get their tackles back. Are they going to be just fine and be a contender like they've been the last few years?
I mean, I think they're going to be fine, but I don't think they're going to win the division. I think,
They're not going to win the division.
I don't think so. I think we underestimate what Minnesota did, how they looked, defensively bringing in Zadarius Smith, what they were able to add to a solid defense. I think, Aaron Rodgers doesn't have to change the way he plays. He has to change the way he leads. And sometimes these quarterbacks, they get away with not having to be responsible for leading people. You have a young group, and we've been a part of young groups. Bill Callahan would have took you guys out and had you work with the young guys. You have to have that continuity. You have to have that chemistry together. You only get that by putting the work in. It's ironic that every team with 3 and 8 that decided not to play their starters in the preseason. And what happens is now you don't have that room for error to say RELAX, relax,
right?
Because you don't have the time, because now Minnesota has closed the gap.
So which is it? Is it RELAX or is it SOS
almost spelled it wrong,
in
by the
Green
way.
Bay right now?
You had to think about it for a second.
I was nervous as hell, Brady.
Yeah, you did just fine. Which word are we spelling right now in Green Bay?
Green, I told you in the meeting this morning, I think the Vikings going to win the division. Listen, I think it's too early to hit the DEFCON button as far as the Green Bay Packers offense.
Yeah.
But the fact that Aaron Rodgers wasn't there in the offseason, when championships are made in the offseason, you knew Devontae Adams wasn't coming back. This happened in March.
Yeah.
Okay, you had a draft. You got young guys. You're off in South America doing your thing.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? All those valuable reps and everything that go on during the offseason, and you don't play in the preseason, they catch up to you now. And every game is valuable. You can't waste games in the National Football League. Minnesota goes out, wins week 1 against the Green Bay Packers. Those games matter.
Tom Brady has veteran receivers. He thought it was important for him to come back for the last preseason game to get in the rhythm. And they came out and they looked like they were in rhythm. Tom Brady got kicked out of a park because he was working with guys that were veterans in the league. Now, we expect Watson, who's a second-round draft pick, not first like Jamar Chase, to come in and give you that type of productivity. It doesn't happen like that.
Right, no, look, the kid's got to catch the ball. I understand that part of it. It's not Rodgers' fault. He handed him the football so well. Diana, why do you look like you are in disbelief at the tone of the conversation here?
Just STOP. You got a bunch of former players sitting on that desk going, oh, he should have been there. He should have been there.
We would know.
Usually you guys are out there going, it's Aaron Rodgers. He doesn't need to be part of the preseason. He doesn't need to be active with all his receivers. He's the best quarterback in football. But it's just funny how after just one performance, we're immediately going, well, maybe if Aaron was there, the offensive line would have been more in sync. They would have protected him better. Maybe those young receivers could have used the reps. Here's the sense I get from around the league, Mike. Just having some conversations, coaches, players since Sunday, nobody is concerned that Aaron Rodgers is not going to be able to figure this out. Will they be perfect by the end of September? No. But let's have this conversation come early November, and I bet you were singing a different tune.
Get her, Nick.
You know who Chuck Nolan is? That's
Chuck Nolan?
Chuck Nolan.
Not Chuck Nolan?
Castaway.
Oh,
that's
okay.
Tom Hanks in Castaway.
Okay.
He's on the beach and he's got the wood and he's doing the SOS. He's got the whole thing. He's doing the spiel. That's where the Packers are right now. SOS, because when you're quarterback, Aaron Rodgers is saying guys got to get open. He's taking unnecessary. If you watch that game, he got shellacked. What did he have? He had 4 sacks.
4 sacks, and
then on top of that, he got hit on every play.
Yeah.
He's trying to wait for guys to get open. And when you wait for guys to get open, it doesn't matter if your starting tackles come back from injury. It doesn't matter if your offensive line is the best in the NFL. If you're waiting for guys to get open, guess what? on the other side of the ball, the pass rushers, they're salivating because they're getting after you and they're sacking you, they're hitting you. So again,
It'll get
SOS.
there. Instead of
That's
him
the way.
yelling Wilson, he's yelling Adams, right? Just come back,
It's Devontae.
please,
That's
please.
exactly right. D-Wood, you looked. I liked when you sit back and you start sipping the tea. I like it. What's going through your head?
Well, like we all sitting here basically giving you the deal. Then Diana, I guess she wants to be the contrarian, and take the Packers angle, whatever. It's just like, and it's just like, are we watching the same thing here? Like Aaron Rodgers was getting shellacked out there. Receivers couldn't get open.
Please,
it's not about Aaron Rodgers.
It's about Aaron Rodgers needs to be. You guys are nuts.
It's not about Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is only as good as the parts around him. And because those parts around him isn't good, he has to put in the extra work. He has to get there and start throwing with these guys. He has to coach them up to position. Hey, this is where I need you at. You only get that by reps. You only get good at football by playing football.
Look, the proof is going to be in the pudding. We're going to start finding it out. They play the Bears this weekend. We'll see what happens. But this was a big argument yesterday. And Dominique was on the side that Diana was on, and some of the other guys were on the side you guys are on. And we'll see. If they get things right by the end of September, then we'll forget about all this. But that was a very, very bad start to